and gentlemen, the guest we have right now for the Real Talk session is actually someone who doesn't need an introduction. He has held senior administrative posts ranging from Managing Director, West Bengal Housing Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited, and Chairman of Newtown DA, Additional Chief Secretary, IT and Electronics Department, Government of West Bengal, to Chief Electoral Officer, among others, and has been the driving force behind some landmark initiatives of the Government of West Bengal in the urban development and information technology sectors. Ladies and gentlemen, no brownie points for guessing. I'm talking about the one and only Debashis Sen, sir. Debashis Sen, IAS retired, founder and director, NBC Limited, and past CMD HIDCO. Can I have Debashis sir on stage, please? Ladies and gentlemen, as he makes his way to the stage, I want everybody over here to clap and appreciate for this stalwart for taking out time from his schedule and being with us over here today. Thank you so much, sir. Honored and privileged to have you. And to be in a special conversation with her, we have somebody truly special. Everybody knows her. Again, no introduction needed. An architect by qualification. After an active architectural practice of more than a decade, she has actually forayed in the field of journalism in the year 2006. Her work has been published in some of the major national newspapers and has been a regular guest expert for real estate shows. And like always, she did not let me finish my introduction before she came up on stage. The one and only, ladies and gentlemen, Sapna Srivastava, editor, Realty Plus. Onar jonno, please, apnara jode bajan hattali. Thank you so much. Sapna, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Shubhajit, for the introductions and for the introduction of our eminent guest here today. Illustrious journey, professional journey, very diverse roles that you have played over the years. Let me start with your stint as a infrastructure and housing development with the new Kolkata development and taking off from what our last panel had discussed. What do you have to say? You know, urbanization is a truth. All cities are getting urbanized at a rapid rate. That's the need of the hour. Do you think we need to create more cities to take off burden from our metro cities? Across India, what should be the way forward? Especially for West Bengal, what do you think should we be doing?
Absolutely. In fact, almost everyone in the last panel is known to me, and we have worked together in making Newtown, and I take pride that I had the support of the town planning and architectural community as a whole, and I have never, ever shied away from taking professional advice. Now, to answer a question, in fact, a lot of panel discussion, I was prompted to raise a few things, but that was out of syllabus, that would be, so I couldn't do that. But to answer your question, indeed, urbanization is 31% in India and in Bengal. World over, it is 50%. So people are going to come to the cities. And the overcrowded cities of Nagpur, Kanpur, Siliguri, Bardhaman, and proper Calcutta, they just can't hold more people. We're talking about greenness, we're talking about openness, while our city per capita, per square kilometer, it is millions of people. So we do need new cities. But I have a point that from my experience in Newtown, cities, if it is too far away from the mother city, I think of Kalyani and Salt Lake. Bidhan Rai, the illustrious chief minister, did both Kalyani and Salt Lake. Salt Lake, by any standard, is a success, a huge success. Kalyani, is it really a success? That is because it was detached from the mother Kolkata. So anywhere, Navi Mumbai is a success because it's close to Mumbai. Naya Raipur is a success, but it's close to thing. But Amravati is very much far away from Hyderabad. Chandrababu Naidu, with his might, is now trying to shift people away, but even IAS officers are not willing to go. So my point is, we need new cities. Old cities cannot hold. Just as New Delhi was made after independence, we need new cities for Kolkata, for Bengal, for India. But this should be placed close, and all modern concepts of inclusiveness, sustainability should be built into that.
Okay, so the connectivity is the major. If we develop our Infrastructure connectivity, I think.
No, you don't
no?
understand cities in that case. Connectivity is important, since I mentioned Kolani. But you know, there is a growth of a child. The city is growing. So when somebody is coming, where will the children go to school and who will set up the schools if there are no students? Where will you go to shop for groceries and no grocery shop will open up? So the point is, initially you have to depend like a child depends on the mother city. It cannot happen otherwise. People are wrong. Just because land is there, you build a city, it will never be a success. I talk of example of China. There are scores of what they call, quote unquote, vacant cities. Cities which have been built by the might of the government, but nobody is staying there.
Ghost towns, yeah, ghost
Ghost
cities,
towns,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
exactly.
They call it, right. Let me move on to the other role that you have played in your professional journey with IT and electronics department. You know, like you gave example of Navi Mumbai and other cities which are doing well in terms of, because they are well connected, they have been connected to the mother cities, and that's why they have grown. In terms of startups, Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore again are the leading cities of India. As your, your role at or your previous professional experience at IT and electronics, how do you see the potential of West Bengal? Is it going to be the next hub of startups for India?
Yes, I very strongly believe in that. You have to observe that, of course, the one practical difficulty was that we did not allow in the late 90s to enter computer and technology into Bengal politically. That was a mistake, we all understand now. But with the emerging technologies, which are absolutely new on the shelf, I'm not only talking of the large language models, AI, ML, blockchain and other things, but with data science and everything, I can say that people from Bengal are manning most of these startups, many of these startups. You go to Bangalore, which is the startup capital of India, and you will find lots of people from Bengal over there. You go to animation and design, huge success by people from Bengal, from people from Shantiniketan and other places. My point is, people over here are very talented. And very happy to say, now that I am in a consulting zone, I am associated with a lot of startups now. I mentor at least 21 startups at the last count. And what I'm seeing a lot of formations trying to come up. I think of BNI, I think of BEE, I think of BBC, I think of BizTech. I mean, there are n number of people, startup groups who are coming together, trying to hold each other's hand, trying to build an ecosystem almost by themselves. And it's a huge thing happening. You won't see it in the surface. It's under the sea. So I would say when this thing bursts above the water surface, when all these formations who are trying their enormously innovative projects, not only in IT. So I was looking at I was hearing a story of a little boy, 18-year-old, if you can call it a little boy. He is doing protein supplement for gym. You know, everybody wants to look good, so they go to gym. But you need to get your muscles right, so you need supplement. And he is doing that, and within 2 years, his turnover is more than 15 lakhs of rupees. 18-year-old boy in Kolkata doing fantastic work. Bengalis love fish. Every portion of the fish business, so many startups are now looking at fish feed and diseases, medicine, and so on. So to answer your question in brief, a huge movement which you cannot see, which media cannot see as yet, because funding is a problem. When venture capitalists come, they say, oh, Kolkata. Okay. So I have put one suggestion to this startup committee, one of the startup communities. I say, Durga Puja, you can't beat Bengal in Durga Puja. In Durga Puja, you make a startup exhibition and a startup whatever you're doing. Showcase to the world, because the world comes to Kolkata during Durga Puja. At least one good puja pandal in South Calcutta have accepted and they have promised me that they will do startup exhibition during Durga Puja. All I'm saying is, just wait a few years, you will see the monster rising from the sea.
Fantastic. I think that does deserve a big round of applause. Lot of potential, as Mr. Sen says, that West Bengal holds, and in fact that's true. We have some of the best institutes here in Bengal. Whether it is a management or whether it is XLRI, whether it is technology, we have IIT, Kolkata. So great, fantastic. In fact, I'm asking. My next question will be about your next role as a Chief Electoral Officer, because that will lead to my difficult question for you. But so before I ask the difficult question, let me ask about your next role, earlier role, which was as Chief Electoral Officer, and you started one very unique initiative, Ananda Babu. Tell us about that, because I wouldn't know. I was probably not there. What was that about? How it created a difference? And do you think we need something like that for elections now? Given the entire.
I'm extremely happy that you brought this out. Those were the days. 2006-7 elections were happening, new things were continuously happening, and this kind of technology was not available during those days. And we were having these voter cards, EPIC as they call it, electoral photo identity card. The present controversy, that is political controversy that is happening, why the same number has been repeated in two voters in two different states. It happened during those times. During those times, such kind of computerization was not there. So we used to be given in the district 1 to 10,000 number to one constituency, 10,000, 1 to 20,000 serial number to other. And there must have been a mix-up, and therefore there was some repeated, because it was all done manually. And the photo identity cards and the photo electoral rolls were coming into being. So imagine, everybody who was eligible to vote had to be brought to a booth, and he had to be photographed. And his name and other things had to be correlated. You understand why the jail authorities put a slate in front of the portrait. Because the face is okay. There was no question of face recognition software at those times. So face is there, but naam kiska hai? So often this would be kind of mixed up, because it's all done manually. Somebody is writing photograph number 3 is for such and such person. But when so many things come in, it's called mixed up. To cut a long story short, there were a large number of problems that the voters faced. When they got their photo identity card, they found either the spelling is wrong, address is wrong, photo is wrong, male, female is wrong, age is wrong. So many things can go wrong in a simple thing. So there were people used to come to the offices, to the district election offices, and everybody trying to rectify kya karna hai, kiske paas jana hai. And then we thought of opening up a helpline. Those days, such call centers and 24/7 helplines were not there. So we thought of making an icon that is made out of puppet. In election, you can't use any actor, because the actor may be supporter of X party or Y party. So it was a puppet. It was a friendly dada. It had acted, quote unquote, in a puppet film called Vote Kahare Koi, means how to do the procedure of voting. We had used Rupkala Kendra to make that film, and from that character, Ananda Babu was there. So he immediately became an icon. It is somewhat akin to, if you remember far back, Bula Di of the AIDS campaign. If you had an aid, and those days it was very, very, people didn't want to talk about it, so they would dial a number and talk to Bula Di, a friendly Didi. So my point was, people need a face to answer, and this clarified a lot of things, and I'm happy to say that I think the success of the photo electoral kernel in those days using those technologies was made simpler to the citizens with a familiar helping face for this. Years later, decades later, in Newtown 2, I made a 24/7 helpline. It's very necessary in the civic thing. And I put in the dress of Ananda Babu in the name of the helpline, saying that there is a Dada. I did not use the name. So if your street light is not working, please dial this number 24/7 and somebody will look at it.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. Do you think we need something like this now? Today, lot of questions are being asked on EVMs and things like that. Uh, do we need some, kind of a initiative where we bring together the public also?
I am a very strong supporter of AI and AI bots. I think those things are becoming archaic. Now, what you need is a smart AI bot which can talk to the present generation in their own language. And they will say, with a proper kind of a monitoring and sandboxing, they will answer in whatever language, in whatever form, all the queries that are rising. The question of EVM, whoever loses, say, I've lost because of EVM, I cannot lose. So what is the truth? When leaders say something, people get confused. So we need a dispassionate, proper, extremely well-advanced form of some kind of a chat GPT or Gemini or Copilot or Manush in China. The latest AI is called MANUS, Manush. Yeah. I don't know whether it's pronounced that way. So let's have a Manush in the form of a bot to take care of people's queries. That's my take.
Yeah, of course, of course. AI is, becoming part of our lives now. We are using Chat GPT and DeepSeek and all those. Very soon, I'm sure, in the electoral process, we might start seeing that intervention also. Now, my whole idea of going through your professional journey and various roles was because I wanted to ask you, what was your favorite role? Was it IT? Was it housing? Was it as an election officer? And various others. You have had so many roles you have played.
Yeah. That's a long story.
That's a long story.
So I won't bore everybody. But definitely three of my assignments stand out. What you have already referred to as the Chief Electoral Officer. It was a huge experience, talking to the Maois, going to Sandakphu, going to Sundarbans, and organizing the whole of Bengal to come to vote with all the rules and regulations of the Election Commission. It was a wonderful opportunity of knowing the people of this country. I am very grateful for that exposure that I had. Second, as you again mentioned, IT and E, it gave me a very great exposure to the ecosystem that makes the IT. I can't write a line of code. Of course, now nobody needs to write a code because, for example, NVIDIA CEO has said that the AI will write the code for you. You don't need to write, etc. Leaving that aside, but this world, I actually went to Indian Statistical Institute and sat on a bench as the principal secretary and learned what this blockchain meant. Those were the days of cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain, everybody's talking about it. Even today, people don't understand properly what blockchain is. So I actually attended in a student's class, I paid the fees, and I sat through the sessions and tried to educate myself what these are all about. And now it is the AI. This is also a very, very important thing to me. I am making effort to do it. And as some say, this is the third stage, so now I can do whatever I like. And now I could never draw, and I am drawing by using AI. My AI art on canvas. I am very passionate about it. And I have already done exhibitions in ITC, Shonar and other places. Lots of architects here doing a bit of market selling also. So in your next project, you can think of AI art. Oyon is agreeing at least. And so at least one supporter to mil gaya. So, I'm saying that these things are coming into being. So I got exposed to this world of technology and what they think and what they do, and the startup generation in the IT. But of course, it goes without saying, the huge satisfaction that you see that when it was a marshy land in Newtown, I walked over there, nothing was there. Trucks and trucks of dusty 16-wheeler would come and bring in earth and dump it, and we would build it. You couldn't walk beyond a few paces. And that is now bubbling with activity. When I see people, actually community growth in those areas, I am very, very happy to see people giving simple adda on the raised traffic islands in Newtown. If you enter Newtown from Salt Lake, on any evening, even in peak summer, you will find that those traffic islands, grassy islands, which we deliberately made slightly higher so that you could sit. It's almost a seating place. And you will find couples and friends coming and taking fuchka and enjoying their life. It really gives me a huge amount of satisfaction when I sit back and see that actually people have come where not a blade of grass used to grow.
Fantastic. I think we need to give another round of applause. Seeing a city coming up in front of your eyes, now becoming a place of people can enjoy, people can live, people can raise their children, I think nothing can satisfy anyone better than that.
And I used to call it the Singapore of Kolkata. And I am also thinking of writing a book of the journey to the Singapore of Kolkata.
Wow, fantastic. Now let me come to your present role. You know, as a founder and CEO of the company, you are bringing together sustainability, your passion of city development, your love for AI art together. So how are you doing it? You know, if you can tell us, what is it all about?
You see, again, as I said, we are now free to do what I like. So all through my life, with Madam Ghosh is also there, who helped me get in Newtown the platinum prize, green prize, which is still valid today, in helping in a lot of tips and solutions, and we used each or one of them. We listened to her very intently. So I do think that sustainability matters. And therefore, and I am a strong believer in AI, and everybody should get to know about it. So therefore, I am seeing how AI can help in sustainable development. I'll give one or two examples. For example, in some places, water leakage is a huge problem. In Newtown itself, we did a study, 34%, even in the new town, water is wasted. But there are AI solutions that has a ball in the pipe, and it hears the acoustic environment. You know, when you prick a balloon with a pin, it makes a hissing sound, hiss. So when there is a leakage in the pipe, there is a change in the acoustic environment. And this ball detects that small change and transmits, and so engineers can rush where the water is leaking. A splendid way of using AI in stopping water leakage. In so many other cases, we are talking of carbon sequestration. What will we do? You can plant n number of trees, no problem. We planted 10,000 trees every year in Newtown. We had a tall tree nursery so that you could get proper seedlings to plant in your courtyard. But actually, if you look at the calculation, the amount of fossil fuel that we generate cannot be done even if you cover whole of Bengal with trees. So what is the solution? One of the solutions AI is doing is new material science using chemical engineering. They are saying organic metal synthetics, new material is being created. It was never in nature through AI, and that is absorbing a lot of carbon dioxide. We had a seminar where AI is talking about recycling lithium battery. You talk of EVs and all those things, but what is the lithium battery going to do for the environment in 3 years' time? So you have to recycle. It's very difficult to recycle AI, lithium. So AI is studying how the molecular level you can do. So I am now trying to impress upon people, policymakers in government, in private sector, in corporate sector, to the architects as well, that how you can integrate AI-induced solutions for a sustainable development. This is my main thrust.
I think that is the need of the hour also. We cannot be working in silos. We cannot be thinking of sustainability in silos. It has to combine with technology, it has to combine with design, it has to combine with development, and it has to bring together all the stakeholders, whether it is policymakers, whether it is developers, whether it is architects, technology consultants, everyone will have to come together. That brings me to my next segment, where I would like to do some rapid fire questions with you. Some one sentence or one word would also be good because it's rapid fire. What is your unique approach to challenges and opportunities? If in one sentence you have to say.
For whom?
For you, what is your unique approach to challenges, business challenges and opportunities, both?
I think it's important to listen to people, especially young people. And the challenges is how to adopt age-old practices in the way the world is turning.
Okay, great, great. So listen to the young generation, and the challenge is adopting our traditional methods and our age-old wisdom with our modern thinking.
Absolutely.
Fantastic. What is the achievement that you are really proud of? You told about Newtown, but other than that, what is one achievement that you are really proud of?
I take a leaf from what the architects planning panel was discussing about. I take great pride in bringing Sonajuri Heart in Newtown. Newtown people always talk about sparkling high-rises, broad streets and everything. But under the flyover, if you go under the flyover near the clock tower or the access station, which is beautifully made up and decorated with yellow paint, every weekend, weavers, handicrafters from Shantiniketan and other districts of Bengal come there and sell their wares. And in the happy street nearby, where it doesn't close at 8 p.m. as Abhishek was saying, it closes at not before 12 midnight. I making evenings vibrant was one of my target areas in those places. So even at midnight, you could go there, walk on the footpath with your family, and you could go to the Sonajuri Heart, buy 10 rupee, 15 rupee paper flowers, make the artisans happy, make yourself happy, enjoy the evening, have great food, and we made no entry. It was a vehicular street. It was a pedestrian street only. So the footpath, we put playthings, swings and other things for the children, and the main path, people used to walk. I'm very proud of the happy, vibrant city under the flyover with Sonajuri Heart.
I think we need these kind of initiatives where we are using the urban spaces. Everyone agrees to that. We are using the urban spaces very wisely. And as you said, we are helping our craftsmen. We are connecting them with the modern, the new generation. And what you spoke about, the challenge of bringing the old and the new together, I think we are doing it very wisely in such kind of initiatives. So we need that kind of initiatives more. That brings to me the next question. You are very bullish about West Bengal, in terms of whether it is technology, whether it is the development. What excites you about its future?
As I said, West Bengal is full of talent. We are we never cease of boasting about the 6 Nobel laureates or 7 at the last count and things like that. We are intelligent, but we don't have money. This is our problem. So I think this intellect, I think we should look at. What excites me about West Bengal is that its capacity to look out of India. I would say Southeast Asia. Very recently, only last month, I was in Vietnam for a with a business delegation. And they asked me, and since I was representing a consulting company, so we had one-to-one discussion. I had 3 offers already to me. One, they said, we want to export rice. I said, who will take your sticky rice? They have very sticky rice taken with a noodle. Right. I said, we take basmati, you don't produce. So don't do that. You better open a Vietnamese restaurant here in Kolkata and other places we can think of a joint venture. The second proposal I got was, I need a boat who will help with Vietnamese law. You know, bot and AI is everywhere these days. So, but Vietnamese law, we do not know. But if some startup from Bengal can tie up with a law firm in Vietnam, there's a huge market. They don't know how to make it. And we don't know Vietnamese law. So let's tie up outside. And the third and the last thing that the Vietnamese delegation wanted was training. They said, we have a plan of training all government staff and officers. We can't, the person who was talking to me, we can't give them enough. So can you people from Bengal give us trainers? Mind you, in Singapore, they have a plan of training everybody over 40 years of age in the principles of artificial intelligence. It's so important. So I think all these propositions, if you just look out to Vietnam, to South Korea, to other emerging places, especially since China is getting isolated, Bengal, with its geographical position, has a huge thing to go. I even, talking to all the architects over here, somebody even offered that I have lots of land. You know, in Bengal, getting land, even a few kathas is such a difficult thing. Said, I have lots of land. You want to do a data center, you want to do a real estate project, you want to do something, you come to me. Vietnam is a communist country, they don't sell you land, but there's a long-term lease. And he is there to help you. I am there to be with you. Okay. So if you want to do your next project, please go there. In short, go abroad.
Okay. Don't move abroad, but look for business abroad and stay in Bengal only. So that's fantastic, that's exciting, and you know who to go to if you are looking at those kind of projects or plans. You are very active in all kinds of forums, so that brings me to my next rapid fire question is, how do you unwind? You know, you must have so many things going on in your mind at one point, no, at one time only. How do you unwind? We want to know that.
Read, see plenty of movies, OTTs mostly, don't spend money. Okay. And I'm doing my AI art very seriously. I'm trying to do exhibitions and things like that. And now another thing, I recommend, since the time is up, I'm winding up. See, another thing, if you have not seen, I will recommend all of you to see the docu-film, only 1 hour and 10 minutes, called Don't Die. Don't Die. I would not have taken it very seriously, but in the Economist magazine, the latest issue, it talks of Brian Johnson, who does not eat, multi-billionaire, who does not eat after 11 o'clock, takes 100 medicines a day, and he thinks he can live forever, immortal. Why? Because 11 in the morning, I'm sorry, very right. So you have seen that. So 11 in the morning, it was instinctively wrong. I am now thinking of getting a mind gym or a brain gym in collaboration with any of you who might be interested. People go to gym to, look good. But what about your brain? Your memories, after 25 years of age, your brain starts shrinking. As you reach 45 to 50, you start forgetting names. And as you go further, 60 plus, you start feeling, the brain deficiencies. So if you are spending 6,000 rupees per month on a physical gym, do something for your memory. So mind gym, I am thinking of doing that.
Okay.
So everybody is welcome.
We are getting to know a lot of plans from Mr. Debashis and what he's planning to do, and he's welcoming anyone who would like to join him in those plans. Before we close up, as you said, we are done with our time, but one last, what is your advice for a young generation?
I would say, take a mentorship if you can. Since I interact with the startup world, many of them don't understand the world. They don't. So it is important for the seniors to guide them as mentors. Not always. They won't listen to you everywhere. But in some places, they make mistakes which are not there. So normally the generation Z or Y or X, there are definite definitions. They think all seniors are fools, like we used to do also in our time. senior generation is always a fool, does not understand. It is not so. There is a lot of wisdom in what they have seen. Take what you want, but do listen to them. It will make your business better.
Of course, there is wisdom in experience, which the age or the youth cannot beat. I think we couldn't have had a better closing to this conclave. We had been talking about the trends and forecast, and we spoke about the smart urbanization. We spoke about sales and marketing for real estate, and residential and commercial. But we couldn't have closed on a better note, where Debashis Sen shared with us what he has done in his various illustrious journey for West Bengal. What's the way forward? I think someone like Mr. Sen telling us how we can use AI, how we can look outside India for opportunities, how we can bring West Bengal to the world map for India. I think that's the way to do it. Thank you so much, Mr. Sen, for sharing all those words of wisdom with us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Stage. And सबसे पहले, I'll request the mic to be हाँ. Thank you. Can I please have the token of appreciation for Mr. Sen? And I think some interesting pointers there. Don't go outside Bengal, but look for business outside Bengal and outside the country. And I think brain gym sounds interesting. Cerebrum, bicep, cerebellum, tricep sounds interesting, right? Give it up for Mr. Sen once again, please, everybody. Thank you so much.